Namaskar everyone, I C.A. Priya Jain, Assistant Professor at IIS deemed to be University Jaipur, welcome you all. In the previous sessions, we have already discussed section 7 and 8 and important terminologies. Now, in this session, we will be discussing about section 9. Section 9 is the most important section under the GST scenario. It is the charging section under CGST Act. It provides the maximum rate of tax that can be levied on supplies leviable to tax under this law, the manner of collection of tax and the person responsible for paying such taxes. Now, on the basis of levy, there are three types of taxpayers under GST law: forward charge, reverse charge and e-commerce operator. In the case of forward charge, supplier has to deposit the GST amount to the government. Under reverse charge, receiver has to deposit the GST amount to the government, and under e-commerce operator, the notified e-commerce operator is responsible for depositing the tax amount to the government. Now, let's start with forward charge. Forward charge covers two sections, that is section 9 subsection 1 and section 9 subsection 2. Section 9 subsection 2 has not yet been notified, although it has been framed but it has not been implemented yet. Now, what is forward charge? Under forward charge, supplier supplies goods to the receiver and receiver makes payment along with GST amount to the supplier. Now, the supplier is liable to deposit the GST amount to the government which he has collected from the receiver. Under reverse charge, the opposite happens and the receiver just makes payment for the purchases. He does not make payment of the GST amount to the supplier and he directly deposits the amount to the government. Under reverse charge scenario, it covers two sections, section 9 subsection 3 and section 9 subsection 4. We will be discussing about each and every section in this session itself. Now, under e-commerce operator, what happens in e-commerce operator? I know you all are aware about Flipkart, Snapdeal, Amazon, Uber, Swiggy. Now, what happens in e-commerce operator? These websites are the e-commerce operators. They are not producing anything, they are just collecting the product of the seller and then selling it to the customer. So, they are just acting as a platform. Now, a person who is providing a platform for others to sell goods or services is known as e-commerce operator. Now, in case of e-commerce operator, nor the seller nor the customer, they both are not required to deposit the GST amount to the government. It is this e-commerce operator, that is the website, that is Amazon, Flipkart and so on, they are responsible for depositing the amount to the government. Now we will be discussing about each and every section, that is section 9 subsection 1, section 9 subsection 2, section 9 subsection 3, section 9 subsection 4, section 9 subsection 5. Let's have a quick recap. Under forward charge, we will be studying section 9 subsection 1 and section 9 subsection 2. Under reverse charge, we will be discussing section 9 subsection 3 and section 9 subsection 4. Under e-commerce operator, we will be discussing about section 9 subsection 5. Let's start with forward charge, that is section 9 subsection 1. CGST applies on all intra-state supplies of goods or services except on alcoholic liquor for human consumption on the value determined under section 15 and at such rates not exceeding 20% as may be notified by government on the recommendation of council and collected in such manner as may be prescribed and shall be paid by the taxable person. So, what they are trying to explain you, under section 9(1), they are not covering alcoholic liquor for human consumption. That is, for all goods all services which have been supplied intrastate other than alcoholic liquor for human consumption, the maximum tax rate cannot exceed 20%. Now, just read the sentences written in the bracket. That is, highest rate can be 40%, which is 20% can be collected by CGST and 20% by SGST or UTGST. Now, UTGST is Union Territory. So, when we are talking about section 9 subsection 1, what they are trying to explain you? They are explaining you that CGST applies on all intrastate supplies except alcoholic liquor, and the maximum rate of tax which can be collected by any state or by the center could be 20%. Section 9(2) is talking about petroleum, crude, high speed diesel, motor spirit, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel, and for these commodities no rate has been specified by government yet. So, what that it denotes? It is covered under the CGST Act, it is covered, all these commodities are covered under the forward charge, but they are outside the purview of tax. That is, they all are under the CGST Act, under the forward charge, but not yet any rate have been specified. And what is the basic reason for that? Because on these commodities already the tax rate is higher than 20%. So, why to cover them under the 20% bracket scenario? So, now what is reverse charge? When reverse charge is talked all about, it is applicable in 3 scenarios. That is, supply of notified goods and services, imports and purchases from unregistered dealer, that is, the seller is unregistered. In these 3 scenarios, reverse charge applies, and hence, since reverse charge is applicable, the service receiver is liable to pay the taxes. Under reverse charge, there are 2 sections, section 9(3) and section 9(4). Section 9(4) is applicable on all cases whenever the purchases have been made from unregistered dealer, and when we are talking about section 9(3), it is applicable on all cases which have been specifically specified under any specific category, so issued by the government. Section 9(3), the government on recommendation of CBI DT by notification notified category of goods and services or both, the tax on which shall be paid under reverse charge mechanism. So, there is a long list and on the entire list the reverse charge is applicable. So, whenever any cashew nuts are supplied which are not shelled or peeled and the supplier is an agricultural and the recipient is any registered person, then in that case the registered person is liable to pay the taxes. There are few examples which have been given when we talk about goods transport agency, or if we talk about legal services or services of director. In all these cases, the service provider is not liable to pay the taxes. The person who is liable to pay taxes is the service receiver. So, please go through this list, and in case if you have any query, then do write in the comment section. Section 9(4) deals with specified category of goods. What this specified category is? There is a specific category of goods or services, a list has been prepared, and on that list, what happens in that list? You are applicable, you are covering the reverse charge scenario. In all these cases, the seller is a unregistered supplier. So, it is a very small list, it is just covering 3 activities, just go through it. Now, GST on e-commerce. It is a very important topic, and please try to understand before we discuss the rates and other scenarios of it. The government, on the recommendation of council, by notification specify categories of services, the tax on intrastate supplies of which shall be paid by the electronic commerce operator if such services are supplied through it. and all the provisions of this act shall apply to such electronic commerce operator, and if he is the supplier liable for paying the tax in relation to the supply of such services. Provided that where an electronic commerce operator does not have a physical presence in the taxable territory, and the person representing such electronic commerce operator for any purpose in the taxable territory shall be liable to pay taxes. Also, where an electronic commerce operator does not have a physical presence in the taxable territory and also he does not have a representative in the said territory, such electronic commerce operator shall appoint a person in the taxable territory for the purpose of paying taxes, and such person shall be liable to pay the tax. So, hence what is the conclusion? In case of e-commerce transaction, the e-commerce operator is liable to pay GST and supplier is not liable to pay GST, nor the receiver is liable to pay GST. So, there is a list of categories which have been specified. This is also a very small list. It is just covering 3 points like transportation through radio taxi, motor cab, maxi cab and motorcycle. For there you can remember Uber and Ola. Next, providing accommodation in hotel, guest house, clubs, campsites or commercial places for residential or lodging purposes. There you can remember the hotels. And the third one is services by way of housekeeping such as plumbing, carpentering, etc. There you can remember housekeeping services which the hotel provides. So, for this you can remember the various websites. Nowadays, can you tell me which website is working on this? Please try to analyze, try to find out which website it is, and in that scenario e-commerce operator is liable to pay. For your convenience, I tell you for the third scenario you can remember the Urban Clap website. So, I think you have understood all the 3 scenarios. In the first scenario, seller is liable. In the second scenario, which is reverse charge, receiver is liable to pay the tax, and in the third scenario, nor the seller nor the receiver, it is the e-commerce operator, the mediator, who is liable to pay taxes to the government. That's it. Thank you.